Hi everyone, it's Mari. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. I have a fun project for you today using Studio Light products with Ecstasy Crafts. And I am going to be starting off here showing you the gorgeous Just Lou stamp JL16. It's just a beautiful, I think maybe a poppy or a marigold. I don't know. I'm not a botanist. I'm not exactly sure what type of flower this is, but it's beautiful. And I just kind of wanted to make a mixed media card here today and just have fun with some different products. And I absolutely love this stamp. It's so gorgeous and it stamps beautifully. I am going to be stamping it onto some Bristol Smooth cardstock because, like I said, I knew that I wanted to do a little bit of mixed media. I wasn't exactly sure at the onset what products I was going to use, but the nice thing about the Bristol Smooth is it will take a little bit of liquid, a little bit of moisture on the paper, and so that's why I chose that paper. I'm going to stamp this out with some VersaFine Clear Nocturne ink. This is just a really nice crisp pigment ink, and it does dry a little bit more slowly, and so I decided I wanted to do some heat embossing with this ink. So I'm going to stamp it out onto my Bristol Smooth paper with my Mini Misty here. I'm just going to use my sleeve to help me press down on the plastic door of the Misty. I will stamp that a couple of times just to make sure that it's nice and crisp and also wet so that the embossing powder that I'm going to be using over top of this image will stick to the ink. And I am going to be using some clear embossing from Cosmic Shimmer, and I will show you the packaging for the product I'm going to be using. I love that the Cosmic Shimmer pots can be purchased in a package of 3. It's actually a really economical way to purchase your powders, and this particular package comes with white, clear, and black, and I'm going to be using the clear over top of my stamped image here so that it's just going to create this raised image, and that is going to just really be a nice shiny sort of really detailed dimensional image on my card front. Now I'm putting that clear embossing powder all over the front of that card where I have that stamped, and now I'm just going to go ahead and heat that up and melt the clear embossing powder, and it's just going to create that really nice raised image. Once I have that all done, I'll be ready to go on to my next step, which is to add a little bit of mixed media to these beautiful images here of these gorgeous florals. I love the Just Lou collection from Studio Light. It is absolutely such a beautiful collection. It's really interesting. Lots of butterflies and really cool, beautiful florals and so on. Really, really fun, beautiful, beautiful collection. Now I'm using the Cosmic Shimmer Airless Mister here in Copper Blaze. This is a really fun product that has tons of shimmer in it, and I just wanted to have a little bit of this color in my florals here and there. So I'm not actually, applying this to the whole image or painting it like it's going to be like a completely painted image. I just want a little bit of this medium here and there on my image to make it just have that beautiful shimmer and shine. And this Copper Blaze is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. And I just thought this went really well with the other products that I'm going to be using today from the Just Lou collection, and love the sparkle, shimmer, and shine of that Airless Mister from Cosmic Shimmer. It's really, really super fun. This Airless Mister comes in a bunch of different colors. I will make sure that I link up to it in the description box below. It's actually a really nice product to use because it's not super messy and it's really easy to apply. I'm just applying it here with a watercolor brush, but you could use any brush. Now I'm going to go ahead and just splatter some of that over top just to create that kind of like messy mixed media kind of grungy look a little bit, and really love how that is going to look when it's all finished. I did also want to add some splatters of white, so I'm using some Dina Wakley white gloss spray. You could actually just water down white acrylic paint, or you could use opaque gesso for this if you wanted. Find a medium in your stash that is going to leave a white splatter and you will be able to achieve the same result, I'm sure. I'm just taking an old brush here and I'm going to splatter down these white splatters over top, and I just really like how that adds to that mixed media look for my project. Now that's all dry, and I've decided that I'm going to size down my cardstock. Right now my cardstock's 5.5 by 4.25, so I am using this on an A2 size card, but I'm going to just size it down a tiny little bit because I want to back my card front front with a little bit of the pattern paper from Just Lou. So I'll show you that pattern paper here in a second that I'm going to be using to back my card front here. So I'm just using my Tim Holtz trimmer just to size this down a tiny little bit. I don't want to take too much off, but basically I'm taking off 1/4 inch in total from all sides. And then that will just allow me to still have a little bit of area to put some embellishing at the bottom of my card front. I'm just looking at it and trying to decide how much space I need at the bottom, because I did want to do a little bit of detail with my sentiment for my card down there in the lower portion. Now I'm taking my paper distressing tool and I'm just going to distress just a little tiny bit of distressing on that white cardstock. And now I am ready to start thinking about how I'm going to embellish this. Now this is a border piece from one of my favorite crafting books. This is the botanical book. And these are just gorgeous books from Studio Light that have all of these really cool embellishments in them. And there's cardstock and pattern paper in here and cut apart sheets, and all these crafting books are just amazing. And all of these little embellishment pieces are perforated in there, so you just punch them out. And I'm going to actually embellish my card also with a couple of these really sweet little butterflies. And so you can just see that's the general design that I'm going to be going for here. Now this is the pattern paper from Just Lou that I want to back my card with. So I'm going to just take a pencil and mark on my paper where I want to cut this. I'm just going to show you here which paper this is. The Basis JL14, I believe, is this one. And it's just so pretty. I love it. I could have used the A side or the B side here, but I just chose the B side because I really liked the combination of the white, the little bit of white tone on the left with kind of that coppery orangey tone on the right. I thought that was really complementary with the mixed media that I've added. And so I'm just going to take a pencil and mark off where I want to cut my paper, take that over to my trimmer and trim that out, and it will be all ready to go for backing my card front here. So just trim that up with my Tim Holtz trimmer again. And I will also distress this with my paper distressing tool a little bit here as well. I'm going to pop up my card front on some foam adhesive just to give it a little bit more dimension. And now I'll just take that paper distressing tool and distress that pattern paper a little bit from Just Lou. And you can just see how that's going to just create a little bit more texture on my card front and a little bit more dimension in that way. And this will be all ready to soon add to my card base. So I'm just pressing down on that foam adhesive to make sure that it's nice and smooth and on there well. And this is that little border piece that I got from the little book, the embellishment book. And I'm going to just mark with a pencil here where I want to trim that out. I'll trim it out with my scissors, and I will go ahead and add that down to my card with a little bit of liquid adhesive. So I'm just getting that all ready to go here. Just going to grab my liquid adhesive and add that down to my card front. So I've got all of that liquid adhesive on there now. I'm ready to add that down onto my project. I still wanted to leave that little bit of white margin at the bottom below that embellishment strip that I added. And now I've just popped up one of the butterflies on a little bit of foam adhesive, and I'm going to add a little bit of glue dot to the back of the smaller one. It's too small for the foam adhesive, so I'll just use a glue dot here. I'll just fold the glue dot over in half so that it gives the little butterfly some dimension on the card. But I did just want these really neutral looking butterflies. They're not too bright or blingy in any way. I just wanted them to just be really nice and subtle and adds that extra dimension and texture and detail. Now I am going into another one of my crafting books to grab a sentiment for my card front, and I love all of these little bits. Again, there's so many cool ones like happy birthday and life is beautiful, today is your day, like tons of different embellishments and sentiments that you could add on an art journaling page, or in this case, a card. So really some awesome choices here. And they're a really nice heavy cardstock as well, so they're perfect for adding on to your projects. I'm going to put a little bit of foam adhesive on each end of this piece to add the sentiment to my card. card, and my card is almost finished. I am going to add my card to a metallic card base. This is some Gina K copper card stock, and I just really like that as the card base for the color scheme that I have going on here. I'm going to add that on with some liquid adhesive, and my card is going to be finished. Make sure you check the links in the description box below to Ecstasy Crafts. I have left a coupon code in the description box as well, and I love my Studio Light products. They are some of my favorite products to work with, and I really like how this card turned out. Now, I do want to finish my card off with a few little crystal gems. These are just crystal gems from my stash. They're Pink Fresh Studio crystals, but they just happen to be the perfect color. They kind of have that copper look to them, and so I'm going to add those down with my Marvy Jewel Picker, and my card is going to be finished. Thanks everyone for stopping by today. I hope you enjoyed my card. Have an amazing day, and thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you again for more projects using Studio Light from Ecstasy Crafts. Bye-bye.